girl. Hey. Welcome back, you guys, to another episode. Episode three. What? Three. You guys. Oh, Lord. I missed that totally. Let's start over. All right. Hey, girl. Hey. Welcome back, you guys, to season. What season is Y'all, what is going on today? What is going on today? All right, let's try it again. Hey, girl. Hey. Welcome back, you guys, to season 14, episode 3. There you go. Finally, we got it. Y'all, we just gonna get right into today's episode because I got some stuff on my chest that I need to say. First and foremost, I just want to say that I love you guys, that I have been most definitely praying for you guys throughout this journey. We are almost mid-season and already I already already when I'm telling you that I've literally have learned so much about myself just sharing my story and talking back to you guys, like it's becoming very therapeutic. I'm learning what things work for me and what things don't work for me. um but one thing I can say that it's just been difficult because I'm learning so much. I'm in my 20s, so I'm learning so much about not just myself but other people as well. Like, I didn't know the older that we get, the more crazier people act. And one thing that I would say that has kind of bothered me would be, the fact that it only gets worse the older that you get. So all you young girls out there that be wanting this adult life, I'm telling you, it's not all that is shaped up to be, that is caked up to be. Like it's some work that have to be done, and a lot of the work comes with you learning yourself, you learning who you are as an adult versus a child. I learned that some things that I used to like I don't like now, or some things that I didn't like back then I do agree with or like now. Even just certain things, it's been a process. It's been a process. I'm learning so much in my 20s. I'm almost in my mid 20s, and I already feel like that time not only just flew by, but I've grown in more ways than others. I feel like, though, the beginning of my 20s, though, I felt like I had to regroup. I had to go back to a drawing board because the things that I felt like I was ready for adulthood to do, I started to see that I really wasn't ready for none of that. I was talking all that trash, and then when it came push come to shove, like it was like like, girl, what you doing? And one of the things that I'm learning too is, it's not just power in your tongue, but it's also, you have to watch your mouth, because also what you speak can come to pass. So it's not just power, but it's about having self-control with your mouth too. And I'm learning that a lot of times I gotta step back and be like, you know what, don't say that. Don't say that. And now God is talking to me so clearly now, where I'm just like, when I want to say something, he be like, don't do that. Don't say that. Don't do that. Don't go 5 steps backwards when we don't move 5 steps forward. But y'all already know it's some people that will push you. Big grown adults at their big old age will push you. Will push you. And I'm learning to control my mouth, to have more patience, control my mouth. I am my mother's child. But no, seriously, like, I'm learning, like, truly, like, sometimes when you don't say stuff, that's good too. Sometimes everything don't require my opinion. Sometimes everything don't require a comment from me. Sometimes I have to speak less. I'm learning to speak less and listen more. I thought I was a good listener before, and I'm learning more and more each day, that listening comes with practicing. And the more you listen, the more better your comprehension and understanding skills enhance or get better. And that's what we want. That's what we want. But one thing about it, two things for sure. One thing's for certain. I always tell people I love God. So that's why I shut it down. I love God and I'm accountable to God. So that's why I just go ahead and shut it down. I don't say much because I don't have time for the, oh, well, you said this or oh, you said that. I'd be like, nah, you know what? Don't even worry about it. So I'm learning to say less and I'm also learning to speak up for myself because like I said, for the longest I was thinking like, I'm young, so I don't want to say X, Y, and Z. And I've learned, you can still respect your elders or be respectful to adults. Now that you are adult, that don't mean you have to turn nasty or have to be aggressive with people. Like learn to articulate in not just a Christ-like manner, but also learn how to articulate in an intelligent manner. Everything don't require ignorance or everything doesn't require, you always snapping back at somebody. Like sometimes you literally just have to, and that's the Bible says that too, be slow to anger. So meaning, even though you used to clapping back, sometimes you can't clamp back. Like sometimes you have to stay calm. Sometimes you actually have to have a conversation. Sometimes you actually have to communicate because sometimes miscommunication happens too because people don't understand what your vision is or what you're trying to do or where you're trying to go. So the good thing about it is, we have to learn that everything, it's a time and place for everything. And also you have to find your voice, what tones work for you, because the tone that may work for you may not work for somebody else. How do you communicate effectively? And I think that I'm learning that in my 20s. That's one of the things that I'm learning. And I'm also learning, that things are going to continue to change. So don't be so comfortable, get so comfortable and stuck to where you thinking, this is it. Like nothing in your 20s will stay the same. I'm learning literally it's a change to everything. It's literally a change to how my body works. It's a change to what I have to do versus what I used to not have to do. It's a change to, the way I think. Like it's a shift and it's a change. Like even me now, with school, I still love school. And I never thought that, I always thought, because when I was growing up and, headed off to college to even be a lawyer in the beginning, a lot of people was like, you really want to do that? Like, that's going to take forever. Like, you really want to be in school? I just want to say this. Don't let people talk you out of your purpose and what God has you to do. Don't let people talk you out your goals, aspirations, and dreams. Don't you can be realistic and you can have logic to something, but don't cause that to affect what God told you to do. And I'm learning that what God told me to do is all that matters. That's all my focus needs to be. So I'm learning that, my focus has to be better in that aspect. Like my focus has to line up with what he said first, and also line up with his word and line up with the way he wants me to move. But also making sure that, people still see Kaitie, people still see Caitlin, like people see Shekina, people see the McGee side, people see the Ingram side or the Overstreet side. Like it's so many different things that work together to make you you. And if you don't know who you are on the inside, or you don't know how to work in your element and work in the different ways of you, then you that's something that you're going to have to practice on. And it's okay. Learn to be okay with not knowing where you are in whatever season you are in. Sometimes we have to just go with God. Sometimes we have to just follow the flow with God, because sometimes we be like, God, this is not where I see myself. You right. Because at the end of the day, if 9 times out of 10, when we say that statement, we know for a fact that 9 times out of 10 is something that we could either we couldn't control it or either we could. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of us, it's stuff that we didn't even have to walk into, and we just chose to walk into it anyway. So I go all that to say, give yourself some grace. Where you are is exactly where he wants you to be, where he needs you to be, where he puts you to be. And like I said, just go with God. Like I'm learning that too, go with God. It's gonna be others that come in and out your life. Be okay with that. Y'all, I'm learning that some people that I never seen my life without, I'm learning that I literally, God continues to carry me and I continue to go through life without them. And that just lets you know that when you got God on your side, he put us on this earth to do life together. Yes. But sometimes we want to hold on to people longer than what purpose they are in our lives for. And so I say that to say, like, it's a lot of people that I never thought that I was going to be walking most of this journey too by myself. And that's the part that I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, it's a journey, it's a journey. It's a journey that it's no longer about what you want, but it's about what he needs, what glory he needs to get out your life. That's what I'm learning. And I'm learning to hold myself accountable for my actions, hold myself accountable for the things that come out my mouth, hold myself accountable for my thoughts, hold myself accountable for not having self-control in whatever aspect, whether it's physically, spiritually, sexually. Hold myself accountable, because at the end of the day, does that line up with the purpose that God revealed to you that it was for your life? And reconnect with God. Stay reconnecting. You can't never connect to God too much. Don't get so up that you forget who got you there, because the person who got you up there, you can knock you right back down real quick, real fast, humble you real quick, real fast. So yeah, I'm learning that too, just slow my pace and worry about my pace. The biggest mistake you could do in your 20s is compare. No, compare yourself to what nobody else is doing, because at the end of the day, you don't know their story. You don't know how hard they fought to get where they are. And at the end of the day, this is their timing. God intentionally made their path to where this could be their timing. So, I say all that to say, one day it will be your turn, but wait on it. I'm learning to wait on my turn. I'm learning that to be okay with the space that I'm in, because like I said, comparison, it will get you. And you'll be sitting up there comparing yourself, and it's like, what am I comparing myself to? Like, I'm comparing myself to the stuff that they're posting. I'm not comparing myself to the actual obstacles they had to face to get there. Because I always tell people, if you want this anointing and you want this oil, please, you go ahead and have it. Because the stuff that I done had to go through and the stuff that I'm going through now, sometimes I be feeling like I want to give it all up. Sometimes I be feeling like somebody else can have this. Like, why my journey have to be so difficult? And then I also realize, he literally will never give you more than you can bear. And how do you know that? Because you're still here to tell the story. You're still here to testify of his goodness. You're still here to let people know that, you can still be kind. You can still walk through this journey. You can still go all of these different trials and tribulations, and you can still get through it. And so I'm learning, like I said, just to go with God. I can't stress that enough. Like, I'm learning too that it's spaces where I'm gonna be broke because literally I'm gonna have to spend money to eventually make money. And I'm learning that everything that I thought about savings and checking accounts and investing and all this other crazy stuff, I'm learning that all that goes out the window if you don't have a plan to get to where you eventually need to be. So I'm learning. That's why I said go at your own pace. So when I see other people got money, all this other stuff, I'm like, you know what? My finances will get better. My finances will increase so that I can tithe better. My finances will increase, so that I can give back to people. Because that's what I want to do. I think that's too. I don't want to give you $1 million. Cause if I give you $1 million, you're gonna give it all away. You're not even gonna do half of what you should do with it, because you so busy always giving to others. And that's another thing. Like, I'm learning to make sure that if I'm going to be giving to people, and I know some people might not agree with how I say this. Hopefully it comes out the correct way. But some people have this thing where they be like, don't reciprocate energy. And I'm like, reciprocate grace. Because you reciprocating grace to them is reciprocating the energy that you have. Because at the end of the day, if we keep reciprocate energy, then that means my energy will stay changing because I stay running into different people that have different flows. Some people don't give grace at all. Some people do. Some people don't. Some people give a little bit and some people give too much. I'm just being honest. Some people give too much. So I say all that to say reciprocate energy. Don't do that because you mess up your own self. Because then what do you work for to build on your character, build on your personality, build on the things that you want in life, build on, the path to your purpose? What that will put you 20 times back, in my opinion, to reciprocate energy. Now, I do believe in, if somebody gives me something that it's something that I have to want to do. And I say that to say, if I see that you're sowing and you're giving into me, and that don't even have to be materialistic thing, because I want to make that very clear. I've never been a materialistic girl. I pretty much just ask for effort, time, and love, and prayers, and laughs, and good times, and you to be there through the good and the bad time. Like, that's the stuff that I ask for. I feel like that's the greatest friendship, relationship, anything you can have with people. Because at the end of the day, God doesn't reciprocate energy, because, man, if he did, a lot of us would be screwed. Cause, man, don't wake up, don't pray, don't read your Bible, don't text, don't encourage nobody, don't give to your church like you're supposed to, don't tithe, don't even offer. Like, it's different when you're not paying your tithes, but now you don't pay your offering is. So it's like, well, dang, sis, you don't give back to nobody. You just it's all about you, and it's like, huh? If God reciprocate energy with us, with the stuff that we be doing, and sometimes he gives us grace, and sometimes he even gives us signs to not do certain things, and we still like, you know what, God gonna give me grace for that. God forgive all my sins. God know my heart. Stop that. Grow up. Grow. Listen, sis. Dude, if you do what, grow up. Stop saying God knows my heart. Stop doing that, because at the end of the day, if he goes inside of your heart, some people's heart look real nasty on the inside. On the outside, that thing look real pretty, look real beautiful, like they do in the cartoon, look real pretty, look beautiful. But at the end of the day, on the inside, it ain't nothing but emptiness, ain't nothing but brokenness, ain't nothing but blackness. Like, so that's why I tell people, make sure that you're doing the internal work. Because at the end of the day, we can't always just reciprocate energy, but we're supposed to give grace, and we're supposed to give off what we're supposed to give off. I'm not saying that people can play with you. I'm not saying that, because that's not okay either. But I'm learning that my response is my responsibility. My response is my responsibility. Your response is your responsibility. I'm going to have to answer for how I respond and what I do. You're going to have to answer with what you respond, what you do. So at the end of the day, sometimes too, God is just be testing us and be like, what you going to do? What is your attitude gonna be like? Have you really grown? And times you say that you done grown, that is the main time that the enemy be like, oh, about to get her. Oh, she wanna play. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I'm gonna show you. Cause you saying that you grew, but you could be triggered again. And then too, that goes on another thing in my 20s. I'm learning that it's better to identify, give back your triggers, and also to function in your triggers. Because at the end of the day, that's just like a flaw. Some people say, people are not flawless, or people have flaws. yeah, that's a part of them. It doesn't mean that all the flaws have to just be a negative connotation to them, or always have to be negative. Sometimes you could take your flaws and you could turn that into a positive thing. Um, I'm learning that, it is okay to, make sure that, we have, what we need to have. It is even okay, to say, hey, this just didn't work out. It's okay to say that, but at the same time, I want to encourage, you guys to make sure that you know, give yourself grace. Relearning yourself and trying to get to the places that you need to be, give yourself grace. Because if you don't give yourself grace, you're going to fall. And you're going to fall hard. And then it's going to be hard to get up very quickly. In this season, you're going to have to get up very quickly when you fall. Because you not getting up, that's going to cost you not only time, but that's also going to cost you oil. Who Jesus? Hey, listen. Listen, that's gonna cost you. So I'm learning, like I said, I'm learning so much in my 20s to where it's like, just Jesus, like you revealing my heart. I thought you was gonna reveal just other people, but God, like, no, like the first years of your 20s before you get to your mid 20s is about you. It's about self-work. It's about you working on yourself. It's about knowing whether or not you have low self-esteem or high self-esteem. Not the esteem people give you and not the confidence people give you. What comes from you? Because if you're not happy and if you don't have confidence within yourself, baby, you gonna have whole nother type of problems. You gonna run into the wrong people. You gonna end up in the wrong relationships. You gonna lose yourself in other people, and you're not gonna fall in love with the person who God wants you to be. Because at the end of the day, it's easy to fall into the hands of what other people want you to be when you don't know what God has you to do in that season that you're in. And I'm also learning, to forgive quickly. Notice I say get up quickly, but I'm also gonna tell you forgive quickly. Um, and when you remember it, this is one thing that I wish somebody told me. When you remember what that person did, forgive again. He didn't tell God didn't tell his disciple to forgive that many times just because. No, he said forgive that much because he already knew that people are going to be people and people are in different spaces. So where some people can stop their behavior, some people will continue and some people will get worse and some people will start new stuff. So it's like, make sure that your work is good first. Make sure that you forgive more quickly. Make sure that your discernment is better. It should be getting better. And how you know it's getting better, when the things that used to hinder you and the things that used to distract you, they're no longer distracts you as much, or either they're no longer distractions at all. That's how you know your discernment is getting better, because you'll be able to sense what is for you, what is not for you. Does this line up with the season that has me in, or does it not? Is this just something that somebody is pushing on me, or something that I'm pushing on myself? Because sometimes we can be our worst enemies. Um, and I'm learning, just to forgive. The book of Mark shows you, God literally enforces that forgiveness is necessary. And it's not necessary for other people, but it's necessary for you. Because at the end of the day, if God can die on the sins for our sins, for people who he really didn't know for real, or even die for the sins of the criminals beside him that died with him, they didn't even feel like they deserved his grace. They deserved his forgiveness. They deserved him dying on the cross for them. But he said, you know what? I'm gonna die for y'all too. And if God can be so selfless, and if God can forgive people who he know everything about, man, if God can forgive me and he knows everything about me, who am I to sit up here and not forgive people for the small things that don't even matter? Your attitude with me don't even matter to the purpose and the path that he got me on. This is literally just an obstacle. This is I'm not gonna blow this up bigger than what it need to be. And so my mom always told me, no, say less. Sheila, I have learned that. Say less. Don't respond. Don't have a response. Walk away before you have a response. Because that walking away or not having a response or having a lesser response, that would irritate people because they know that you can't shake up me but so much. You make it shake me a little bit, but it's only gonna be for a moment. You make it shake me a little bit, but it's only gonna be in that moment. Cause baby, and you know what? I start too learning that, don't let that bitterness set in. Pray about it. Pray about this person that you can't forgive. It's so many scriptures, and I wanna be clear on the scriptures. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32. Just some scriptures to give you guys, just to read on forgiveness. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13. Matthew chapter 6 verses 14 through 15, Matthew chapter 18 verses 21 through 22, 1 John 1 and 9, Luke chapter 23 verse 34, and then Matthew chapter 26 verse 28. All of these different, and these are just some of the scriptures that help me to understand that forgiveness is not about them. And really, I will say this in its context. It's really not about you. It's about where you're going, where you're headed, where the end goal is. And so I'm learning that I have to be accountable for me. I have to take some sense of accountability. And for me, forgiveness is deeper. I didn't think that in my 20s I was gonna have to forgive people so much and forgive people for stuff that happened 10 plus years ago. I was in this abusive relationship, and literally everything was so negative, everything was so toxic, and no, I was one of the people that I was like, Kaitie, you not gonna be in a toxic relationship. When you young, you do some dumb stuff. Like that's just life. That's just life. And no matter how mature I thought I was, my decisions and my choices showed otherwise. And that's why I say you gotta look at the blueprint. Look at what is it for face value versus what you want to see. Because sometimes the stuff that you see is the stuff that you need to see to regroup and reevaluate. It sometimes don't even have nothing to do with the situation or them, but it has something to do with you. Why am I allowing this? So then it was an internal thing for me, because it's like, well, why are you allowing this? Why are you allowing somebody to tear you down? Why are you allowing somebody to put their hands on you? I didn't realize how important that was at a young age. And it's like, I thank God that I got it at a young age so that I won't be in my 20s wilding out and picking the wrong people, wasting time, putting two with four when two need to go with two to equal four. Like, making sure that the calculations that I am accountable for, making sure that it lines up, because at the end of the day, if I don't have no self-discipline or self-control or discipline or self-awareness with what God needs me to be doing, I'm gonna be in trouble. I can't talk about I want to be a wife, I want to be a lawyer, I want to have this, I want to have that, and I can't even be responsible for self. I can't even take accountability for my actions. I can't even take accountability for my thoughts. Like, all of these different things, I'm telling you now, if you are a young girl, listen to me and listen to me clearly. Don't go by the narrative, you young, you can make mistakes. Try to make less mistakes. Take it from Kaitie. Take it from Kaitie. Try to make less mistakes. And I say this to say this for me. Me not getting in another toxic or abusive relationship was a blessing to my life. Not just to my mental health, but to my life. Because at the end of the day, it took me one time. And that's another thing, you learn your lesson one time. Don't keep going back. Use the people around you or your siblings or anybody that you see is in turmoil, is in anything. Learn from them. Don't be one of the people that you gotta touch the stove when we already telling you that the stove hot. I'm telling you, it will save you a lot of time. I'm a middle child of 8 kids, so trust me, it's saving me a lot of time with the stuff that my siblings do. And me and my siblings, we talk about this. We here, we talk about that. We pray for each other, but we also keep it real with each other. We keep each other covered, but we also keep it real with each other. And so I say that to say, like, just learn to not do, just not always doing what your peers, even what your peers want you to do. Take that out the equation. It's never too young for you to get serious about your life, because the less mistakes you make, and not saying that you won't fall, not saying that you will be perfect, you won't, but falling less will help you not to pay for it later. I'm learning that sometimes I'm going to have to, I'm in, cause I'm right now, I was in my isolation season, and I was in my isolation season for years. This is stuff that people don't tell you, that when God calls you in isolation, he don't tell you for how long. He just wants you to get through it and pray through it and trust through it and have faith through it and follow the path that he has for you, so that you can get out of the corn maze or can get out of the maze. Don't make it about you. Don't see it as a punishment. Don't see it as he done forgotten about you. Don't see it as he don't provide grace and mercy to you, because he does. Don't see it that way. See it as, this is what I need to be doing. And if you do make a mistake, get back up quickly. I am trying to tell you, get up very quickly. It will help you. I cannot stress that enough. It will help you. It will help you to not dwindle down, because then that's how depression sets in. That's how anxiety sets in. All these different things, I'm learning that's how they set in. And you thinking that it's about you, and really it's not. Like, I'm learning that it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you, Kaitie. Like, you can't keep going your whole life. I'm working on myself. I'm working on but sometimes it's not about me. It's bigger than me. Me sitting on my platform is not about me. Yes, it helps me. Yes, it helps me to be fulfilled in a certain way. Yes, it helps me to let go of things, but it's not about me. It's not about me. It's me, about me fulfilling my purpose for the well-being of others. God put me on this earth to love people, to cater to people. That's what he put me on the earth to do, to pour into people. That's what he put me on the earth to do. And that goes back with, you have to know that. And when you know that, get a grasp of it. Get a hold of it very quickly. And I'm learning that you have to be okay with your season of isolation. You have to talk to God in your season of isolation. You will be lost and you will feel like it's just a waiting period. But you don't even have to worry about it being a waiting period if you were focused on the mark itself. So I'm learning that, in this waiting period, the first couple of years is about me regrouping, about me learning myself, about me learning, what this is, what it ain't. And like I said, I'm learning to give myself more grace. I'm gonna tell you, give yourself grace, because it's gonna be more mistakes made. It's gonna be some things that you do that you never seen yourself doing. It's gonna be some things that you stop doing. It's never too late to start over, regardless of if you have evidence of what you did or you don't have evidence of what you did. It's never too late to start over. It's never too late to get back right with God. It's never too late to start over. Just be like, you know what? I'm gonna start from a clean slate. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm not doing. And pray about it. Pray about it and practice it. The more you practice it, the easier it will become. Some people, some people with smoking, it was a one and done with me. I had me a whiff of it one time, and I was like, you know what? That's not for me. That's not it. That's not what I need to be doing. So I'm learning that it's bigger than me. And I have to learn that, this is where God has put me in. Now, who's to say when I turn 25, 26, my outlook even on this one change? Who knows? But we'll get there when we get there. We'll get there when we get there. But those, are just, the things that I'm learning. Like the 20s, they're learning yourself and moving through season. It takes a lot of pressing and a lot of faith and a lot of praying and a lot of trusting God to get through it. But like I said, you're never too young to start getting it now. You're never too young to not have to learn, those different things that, others had to learn before you. You don't have to be the hard headed one. Because plenty of people that already did that for you. So, it's just a process. Listen, a process. A process. So yeah, I think just, that is, just literally, the surface level of my 20s. And I think we're only going to go up from here. We're only going to go up from here, and we're only going to get better because we're going to do better, and we're going to pray better, and we're going to fast better, and we're going to spend time in His Word better. We're going to treat others better. We're going to treat ourselves better. We're gonna focus on the eternal parts of ourselves in these seasons, and we're going to get through this thing. We're going to accomplish those goals in the end. And so yeah, like I said, give yourself grace, girl. Give yourself grace and know that, God is with you through it all. He's down in the trenches with you. He down in the mud with you. He's literally down in these things with you. Because some people are like, God not gonna do it. Yes, He is. Because that's why He continues to cover us. That's how He knows to give us grace and mercy, because of that. So we have to know that grace is for you too. His grace and His mercy for the stuff that we do intentionally is for you. That's not he's not a respective persons type of person. And I'm truly learning that in this season. That's not how God operates. God is going to give it and give it until you get it. But He's also, when you get it, He's going to still give it to you. So yeah, that's all I learned, y'all. These 20s have been rough already, but I'm learning, I'm learning that prayer, fasting, reading my word, holding myself accountable, changing some behaviors, not being stuck in what I'm comfortable, what I feel like it, because like I said, sometimes it's not about me. It's not about me. And I feel like I'm getting that now than I ever did before. So yeah, so that's all your girl have to say, It's so much more I could say, but I just feel like that's the nitty gritty of, of your 20s, so here we are, and we gonna ride this thing till the wheels fall off, or till Jesus tell us, turn left, don't go right. We just gotta continue to do that. So yeah, this is the end of this episode. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you guys were blessed by whatever I said. I hope you guys, are able to take away that, his grace is for you too. His grace is sufficient for you. And that it will be okay in the end. Start over if you need to. Continue on the path that he has you on it if need be. And just do what you gotta do. Since we gotta handle business in our 20s so that when we get 30, we already done accomplished some of our goals and we'll continue to accomplish some of our goals. So yeah. I love y'all. That is I guess the end of this episode. I love you guys so much. Like I said before, I am most definitely praying for you guys. I'm praying for more strength, more peace, more the peace in your mind. I'm praying that it continues to just enhance or increase so that you can be at peace with the things that you may need to do and the things that you're going to do and the things that you're getting ready to do or the seasons that you're getting ready to come out of and the season that you're getting ready to go in. I pray that his peace and strength be with you, and I pray that you hang on in there. Hang on in there, girl. Hang on in there. Hang on. Hang on in there. And I love you guys. That is all for today. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned because we are almost halfway through the one-on-one with Kaitie series, season 14. I love you guys so much. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.